The Indiana Fever have dropped a new workout video with the rookies. I think I saw Jillian Aileen in there too, practicing with Caitlin Clark, and everyone is going crazy.
One shaky practice clip, one scrolling thumb, one heartbeat's pause, and suddenly the whole WNBA universe felt smaller, like someone had pinched the screen and zoomed in on a single player. Across X, Instagram, and TikTok, feeds flipped from brunch pics to hardwood havoc. Indiana's closed session had leaked. The video wasn't polished. It wobbled as if the filmer's hands were shaking just to keep up. Yet in the blur, you could still catch the pop of the net, the squeal of rubber on maple, the collective woe from teammates stacked along the baseline. 42 seconds long. Trending worldwide in under 30 minutes. By breakfast the next day, the clip had pushed a preseason stream past 1.3 million sets of eyes, more than last year's Finals Game 1, and nobody in the league office was calling it a fluke. But highlight waves don't form out of thin air. 6 months earlier, while the news cycle picked apart rookie turnovers, Caitlin Clark closed the social apps, stuffed her earbuds in, and disappeared into the Fever's weight room with strength guru Sarah Taylor. The assignment was simple: break the body down and rebuild it for a collisions-only league. Medicine ball slams at dawn. Core stability ladders that left her midsection trembling. Reverse sled pushes until her quads buzzed. Hill sprints out back just to keep the lungs honest. They hammered hips for explosiveness, ankles for balance, shoulders for late-game lift. The first public hint popped up in a March, Iowa charity cameo. Broader shoulders under an oversized hoodie, a stance that sat lower and bit harder. Insiders who'd tallied every micrometric noticed release speed first. The pull-up 3 now fired in 0.31 seconds instead of 0.36. 0.05. Sounds cosmetic until you realize it's the seam between hand in the face and too late, balls away. Raw muscle was half the upgrade. The other half lived between the ears. Clark logged more than 120 hours in the film dungeon, index finger skipping frame by frame through every blitz, trap, and ice she saw as a rookie. She built flashcard counters. If two come high, pause. Bait the weak side tag, rifle the skip. If the nail help slides early, drop the left-hand dime to the short corner. If they dare go under, rise from the logo and erase the argument. Critics barked on podcasts. She's flashy, she's turnover-prone, she won't survive the physicality. And she harvested every syllable as data. No tweets back, no quote tweet heat. Silence became strategy.
She's the only one capable of taking nothing and making it something. The WNBA was nothing before Caitlin Clark.
And teammates felt the change first. General manager Amber Cox had handed the program to returning coach Stephanie White, who promptly ripped the old horn sets out by the roots. Positionless motion, pace in permanent overdrive. Clark as the metronome. At the start of each practice, White's whiteboard held just 2 words: find flow. Drills flipped into 5-on-5 chaos scrimmages where no whistle saved a broken play, and the only voice allowed to call an audible was the 22-year-old point guard making her second lap through the league. Vets DeWanna Bonner and Natasha Howard gave an eyebrow raise at first, then bought in, slid to new spots, and started yelping for the ball on Clark's rhythm, not their own. Rookie Jillian Aileen learned the pick-and-pop beat in 3 sessions. Her reward was a no-look whip pass that cracked her grin so wide you could count every molar. The chemistry spike echoed far beyond the practice court. Network execs, still high from last season's Clark bump, floated the nuclear option. A standalone Clark package, 15 to 18 national broadcasts sold outside the normal WNBA contract. StubHub ticket trackers noticed Indy's road dates ballooning to NBA-level secondary prices, 184% above 2023. Social team interns, who once scheduled 3 Fever posts a week, were now on daily cadence, hungrily clipping every half-court swish and trampoline skip pass. Hype sells. But hype also begs a question. Can it breathe when the other guys punch back?
This young player has come into our game, and she's getting way more respect and all that stuff than we are. As she should. The young girl is a baller. The young girl has people watching because of the way she can shoot this basketball like Steph Curry.
That first punch is scheduled for the dream. Atlanta runs a backcourt that swarms like hornets. boasts the league's best turnover forced rate, and just added Brittany Griner's 6'9" wingspan as a shot eraser in the lane. Their game plan is no secret. Trap the ball early, body the driver, funnel everything into elbows. Clark knows it. She's been reverse engineering it all camp. Watch the opener on May 10th. When Atlanta flashes that hard hedge at the left wing, count the beats. 1, 2, ball's already screaming to the weak side corner, where Kelsey Mitchell is loading a catch-and-snap 3. Next trip, Atlanta sags. Clark lifts her dribble, lures the help halfway, then launches from the center court decal like the floor is molten. If the double doesn't come, she stabs a 1-foot gather into the mid-post and fades, Dirk style, before the heavy contest can close. No matter the coverage, the outcome feels pre-programmed. Yet the stakes stretch wider than a single preseason tilt. Clark's rise mirrors Steph Curry's 2015 mini revolution. Range that snaps defensive geometry, pace that warps substitution patterns, and an electricity that makes casual viewers slam stop scroll on whatever else they were doing. It also pries open bigger conversations about revenue share, media splits, even locker room envy. When Aja Wilson dropped a cryptic Instagram story about shoe deals before the trophies, comment sections detonated. Nike rumors swirl harder now. Insiders whisper that Q3 2025 could birth the first WNBA signature shoe launched inside a player's rookie contract window. Some see opportunity, others feel the floor tilt under their feet. All the while, the Fever roster is aging and fast-forward. Aaliyah Boston's footwork looks sharper, Bonner's mid-range feels inevitable, Mitchell's release got quicker, and Howard's help-side anticipation grows by the week. Clark isn't just the face here. She's the glue, the voltage, the temperature setter. Leadership for her isn't rah-rah speeches. It's elbows out screens to free a shooter, absorbing double teams so a vet can breathe, demanding the standard never dips. Quietly, she's hosting late-night group film on an iPad over protein bowls, pausing 2-4 times on every defensive rotation and peppering rookies with, "What do you read there?" The entire room answers. Accountability masquerading as conversation. The wider fan base senses the shift, even if they can't name every motion wrinkle. They see her laser a 90-foot bounce pass and imagine playground games where anything feels possible. They notice a once rusting franchise now pulling 18,000 bodies on a Tuesday in February. They catch themselves flipping from NBA League Pass to a Fever feed just to see if she'll stick a logo 3 before halftime.
The WNBA saw a boom like we have never seen. We saw Caitlin Clark come into the league. We saw the Caitlin Clark effect. We saw the influx in fans who flooded to the WNBA, and many of those were there for Caitlin Clark.
And in that moment, snap. That's how a sport expands. One highlight turns into 3. 3 become a timeline. Timelines merge into momentum. And suddenly people who didn't know the league's schedule are complaining when a Fever road tilt isn't on linear TV. So where does it all go from here? Picture the Atlanta opener as the spark, not the payoff. If Clark threads the traps, if Indy's motion hums, the Dream's defenders may spend 40 minutes chasing ghosts. And the rest of the league will take notes for an arms race that could last the decade. If Atlanta scrambles her rhythm, the broadcast still wins. The league still trends, and Clark still files each possession away like she always does. A chip phone size but granite heavy, sliding deeper onto her shoulder. Either result fuels the narrative. That's the trick of momentum. Once the avalanche starts, even slips look like angles to gather more snow.
Caitlin Clark effect seems to be crazier than year one.
Which brings us to you, the viewer, the scroll stopper, the stat line predictor. Clark turned silence into strength, criticism into code breaking, and a jittery 40-second clip into a warning with teeth. The rookie you thought you knew last spring is gone, replaced by something leaner, louder, and far less forgiving. When the lights snap on and the ball goes up, she won't be crossing half court to fit in. She'll be stepping into range to take over. Welcome to the ripple that just became a fault line. Buckle up, drop your projection for points, plus assists in the comments, and keep the browser tab open. The horizon is tilting and we're all about to slide.